need, but there will be a lot of people who will be able to manage 4 to events. So if we get in a crunch, we can expand that way. There are other do-it-yourselfers who are creating a mechanical device to squeeze an ambu bag. An ambu bag is like a little bag that you can use to ventilate someone with a tube, and they're creating a mechanical device that will squeeze the ambu bag. They're doing this in Ireland. And with that, plus something we call a PEEP valve, what you've got is a functioning mechanical ventilator, and they're making it with 3D printers, and it'll probably cost like a couple $100 to put together. And all of a sudden, they can just roll these off the assembly line, and we can have these rudimentary ventilators. They're not going to be as good, and they're not going to be able to do the advanced ventilation modes you need for people with severe ARDS, but they can take care of 80% of our cases. And so what's that going to do? When the coronavirus epidemic ends, that doesn't mean those devices go away. A $200 or $300 ventilator could be used in sub-Saharan Africa at places where they have a constant shortage of ventilators, or in Venezuela, where the narco dictatorship has completely destroyed all the healthcare, and getting a ventilator is next to impossible. But when you have a $200 piece of equipment that can hold in somebody's hands, all of a sudden, what you're seeing is the free market bringing advanced healthcare to people who never would have gotten it before. That's exciting.
Yep,
it's really exciting.
And it's important to note here, the ventilator companies have gone public and said we could ramp up production. We could have a whole bunch of these things ready for everyone, available for as many people as possible. And they're not getting any orders in right now. Luckily, they're publicly speaking out. Hopefully that changes soon. The volunteers who 3D printed the medical devices for about $1, they're also being sued for intellectual copy infringement claim right now. So that's also happening there. I mean, to me, this is a very, very crazy situation. There should be all hands on deck, and I think we should be doing everything we can to stop it. One last thing, because I know there's going to be a lot of people who are critical of vaccines. There's also some data I saw coming from China showing that 17% of people got the virus again after having it the first time, which some people say suggests that the vaccine might not work. What would you say to people who are critical of like vaccines? Because there's going to be a lot of those individuals.
Yeah, there are a lot of individuals like that, and I tend not to argue with them because reason is lost on people like that. And so my reaction is, you do you. If you don't want a vaccine, I think that's a really bad idea. But having argued and argued and argued, I've realized that I can't hit my head up against a wall anymore, so I don't argue. Vaccination ultimately should be voluntary. It's just an odious idea that the government should force anybody to receive a vaccination. But as a matter of my personal preferences, I am vaccinated against everything except Japanese encephalitis. And the only reason I'm not vaccinated against Japanese encephalitis is because I haven't been to rural parts of Asia. There's strong evidence that vaccination is highly protective. Yeah, you're right. Some people are getting reinfected, and I told you earlier that that other coronavirus infections are only conferring 9 to 12 months of immunity. But the benefit of a vaccine, or the good thing about a vaccine when you're developing it, is that you can design a vaccine to produce specific antibodies. And so what you find in somebody is that, you say you get infected with a virus, it's not one antibody that your body produces, right? Your body doesn't have the ability to look at a virus and